Hey everybody, welcome back to another PlayStation 5 video. And today's video is really exciting because today Sony have officially launched their website for the PlayStation 5. So I'll have the link in the description if you guys want to go and check it out. But it's just playstation.com/explorer/PS5 and it'll take you to this site. It says PS5, PlayStation 5 is coming, launches holiday 2020. Then below it says, we've begun to share some of the incredible features you can expect from PlayStation 5, but we're not quite ready to fully unveil the next generation of PlayStation. Sign up below to be among the first to receive updates as we announce them, including news on the PlayStation 5 release date, PlayStation 5 price, and upcoming roster of PlayStation 5 launch games. Then there's fields for you to enter your email address and date of birth as well. So I'll send you an email as there's new information about the PlayStation 5. So this in and of itself isn't anything new. We don't really get a whole lot of new information other than the fact that Sony have actually put up a new website for it, which suggests that the reveal is really close because, I mean, up until now they haven't had a website. So this also lines up with some of those leaks and rumors saying that this month, sometime here in February, is when we're going to get the full reveal of it. But then once again, the thing that happens with the reveal is we're probably not going to be getting full details. We're going to get the reveal of the console, so probably the first actual look of the console, what the console will look like perhaps. Maybe the release date, maybe the price, and maybe some games, but at least information about the system, maybe specs. I doubt we're getting all of that. We're probably just going to get a little bit of it, and then as time goes on, we're going to get a little bit more and more up until, of course, we get closer to the launch of PlayStation 5 later this year in holiday 2020. And also today, we got information coming from Sony's chief financial officer, their CFO, and he actually talked about the PlayStation 5's pricing, didn't give specifics, but in Sony's third quarter earnings call, the CFO was asked to talk about how Sony intends to achieve a smooth transition to this new generation. And the CFO says, quote, "First, we must absolutely control the labor cost, the personnel cost. It must be controlled. And the initial ramp up, how much we can prepare initially, we will work on the production and the sales, and we will have to prepare the right volume as we launch this. What is not very clear or visible is because we are competing in the space, so it's very difficult to discuss anything about the price at this point in time, and depending upon the price level, we may have to determine the promotion that we are going to deploy and how much cost we are prepared to pay. So it is a question of balance, and because it's a balancing act, it's very difficult to say anything concrete at this point in time. But when I said smooth transition, we mean that we will definitely choose the optimal approach and that we will try to have the best balance so that we will be profitable during the life of this project." A lot of news sites have interpreted this as Sony is waiting to reveal the price of the PlayStation 5 or to determine the price of the PlayStation 5 until the Xbox Series X's price is revealed. So until Microsoft reveals their cards, Sony's going to hold theirs close to the chest as well. And I mean, this isn't anything really new. This is what happens in basically every industry, is you always look at your competitor to see what they're doing and see what strategies and what things you can do to beat them. So Sony wouldn't want to come out with their exact specs and price and everything so soon because that gives Microsoft a huge leg up, because then Microsoft now has the opportunity to adjust their pricing, adjust their specs, whatever else, accordingly to effectively beat them. And Sony's actually done this. Sony did this with the PlayStation 4. The price for the PlayStation 4 wasn't even actually set in stone until after Microsoft had their E3 2013 conference. Microsoft's conference was in the middle of the day, and Sony's conference was later that night. So Microsoft came out and they said the Xbox One was going to cost $500, and then later that night, Sony came out and announced that their system was going to be $400. And it's well known at that time that Sony actually wasn't 100% sure what price they were going to launch the PlayStation 4 at, but instead they were waiting for Microsoft to make their first move to announce how much their console was going to cost, and they could either match that price or undercut them. And Sony decided that they could undercut Microsoft and sell their console for $400, and effectively might have won this console generation because of that. Microsoft didn't really have many options to do there because their conference was scheduled first, so they basically just had to announce what they had. But this sort of thing happens all the time though. You basically wait for your competitor to make their move and then you make your move to one-up them. So this is also likely why Microsoft hasn't come out and officially confirmed a price point for the Xbox Series X or even a release date as well. Like Sony and Microsoft, they both haven't said anything about release date other than holiday 2020 because they don't want the other company, if say Microsoft was like, hey, we're going to have our console come out November 13th. You don't want Sony to come out and be like, hey, ours is going to be available a week earlier. Because essentially whoever gets theirs out to market first is probably going to get a little bit more sales initially. Because your average consumer is only going to buy one console. So whoever's comes out first, they're likely to buy that. And with specs as well, Microsoft doesn't want to confirm specs for the Xbox Series X yet because there's still a chance that Sony could come out and try and one-up them. And it's also not even just about one-upping each other, it's also about making sure that your product at least meets the competition as well. Sony did this with the PlayStation 4 as well. It was announced that it was going to have 4 gigabytes of RAM. Then later that year at E3, they were like, hey, it's going to have 8 gigabytes of RAM, because they saw that Microsoft's console was going to have 8 gigabytes of RAM, so they decided to change theirs to have 8 gigabytes of RAM as well. So essentially this whole article and this whole announcement doesn't really tell us anything new, but we can make some guesses from this, because Microsoft, the only thing we know so far officially about any details on the Xbox Series X is that we're going to get details about it at E3, and that's it. We don't know if Microsoft will have their own official conference before then where they announce official details about it, and then at E3 perhaps show off games for it, as well as maybe the price and release date. We don't know about that, and all we know about Sony is that they will not be attending E3. So it's likely that Sony will have 2 events. They're going to have one reveal event, and then they're going to have a second event where they probably talk about price and release date. So if Sony's not attending E3, it might actually be a good move for them, because they aren't bound to a specific time slot where they have to announce details. They could announce it before or after Microsoft in order to do whatever will benefit their company the most. But in conclusion, with this new PlayStation 5 website up, it's very likely that we will be seeing a reveal for the PlayStation 5 very, very soon. Hopefully it'll happen this month. This month will be the 7th anniversary of when the PlayStation 4 was announced. Hopefully we see Sony come out and announce official details on the PlayStation 5. Even something like release date or price, anything at this point would be greatly appreciated, but all we can do really now is just wait and let time run its course. But I know how hard it is to wait, guys. So there you guys go. That is all we have for today's video about the PlayStation 5. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel with notifications on. That you guys stay up to date and get an instant notification whenever there's new videos about the PlayStation 5 or other systems or games or any other content on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time.